Hi, thank you guys for tuning in to Yin this morning with Art and I from the Hot Yoga Room at True. So today we're going to do a little bit of butterfly lateral and extended butterfly, and then I'm going to show you guys a level 2 Yin, which isn't really Yin, but it could be, full tortoise, Kumasana. So we're going to start today by doing a little bit of demonstration, okay, before we start, okay? So Art's going to come on up and show you guys how to round and curl into a ball with a modification, okay? So watch this. As Art inhales the arms up and overhead, he's going to exhale into a swan dive and come into an Uttanasana forward fold. You guys don't have to start this at home just yet. We just want to show you the modification for curling into a ball, okay? So from right here, Art is going to bend his knees and rest his belly on top of his thighs. Do you guys see this right here? It looks like a chair. He's got the belly resting onto the thighs, and even if he releases the hands from the block, he can shift the hands back and forth. And he's not going to fall down because he's resting the belly on the thighs. Those of you at home that cannot curl into a ball, a yogi ball, this is the modification, okay? All right, come on up, Art. And we're going to start with 3 Mahashivaratris, 3 warm-ups, 3 salutes to the great God Shiva, okay? So starting at the top of your mat, you're going to bring the hands to your heart center, into Anjali Mudra or Namaskar. Squeezing at that tailbone, lifting up through your rib cage, drawing your shoulder blades back and down. Nice. Did you guys see those shoulder blades draw down out of Art's ears? Set your intention for class. Guys, this can be anything that you want in your life. Whatever it is you want, close your eyes. Think about what it looks like and ask for it. Okay? Ask for it. And let's get started. Inhale those arms up and overhead. Reach for the sky. Exhale to a slight backward bend. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Inhale back up through your center position. And exhale to your first swan dive down, hands to the mat, Uttanasana forward fold. So since this is the first forward fold, start to pedal out the legs, just like Art was doing here, or bring your block into play if you guys cannot touch the floor. So either grab the block and bring it in front of your toes, or bend the knees as much as you need to get the hands to touch the mat. So right here, Art's got the block into play, but as you guys can see, he doesn't really need it. If he moves the block out of the way, he can just release the hands to the mat, pedaling out the legs. Make sure you're not hyperextending the legs, keeping a slight micro bend. You guys at home can bend the knees as much as you need to get your hands to touch the mat here, okay? Really nice stretch through the backs of the hamstrings and the knees, which we're going to feel in our yin, okay? So as you take your belly to your spine to protect your lower back, inhale to rise and draw the arms up and over your head. Exhale to a backward bend. Inhale up through that center. And exhale to your second swan dive down, hands to touch the mat. From right here, Art's going to bend the knees as much as he needs to get the hands to plant the mat. And then he's going to step back into a downward dog. Right leg or left. Pushing back into your first downward dog, melting the chest to the toes, spreading the fingers out really wide here, pressing the pad of the palm here, guys, into the mat. Drawing the shoulder blades back and down, melting the chest toward the toes, dropping the heels, but lifting toward the hips. Now, as Art inhales forward into his first plank position, he's going to drop to the knees here to show you guys how to do this at home. From right here, he's going to exhale down, hugging the rib cage, and he's going to inhale, pushing his nose all the way up into an upward-facing dog, Urdhva Mukha. So right here, Art has his hips lifted off the mat, which is an upward-facing dog. From right here, Art's going to drop the hips to the mat for Bhujangasana, bending at the knees, and pushing himself back into a child's pose. Balasana. So for this first child's pose, you guys, your head may not touch the mat yet. On the third set, we're going to see if you can get your head to touch the mat, okay? Your knees are not spread apart, as that is a peaceful warrior, okay? From here, your knees are touching. As your belly rounds around your thighs, you're going to feel the release and the compression in your lower back. Spreading the fingers out really wide and reaching to the top of the mat. Feeling the nice compression release in that low back. The low back is where we all have issues because we don't tuck our tailbone enough, or we do a job where we stand all day, or we couch potato all day, which you might be doing right now. From right here, we're going to just look forward in between the hands. Second set to the Mahashivaratri, shifting the body weight forward, looking over the edge of the mat, tucking the toe behind you, lifting and pushing away into that downward facing dog. Very nice. Spreading the fingers really wide, deep breath, inhale. And exhale, push away at the mat and melt the chest toward the toes. Spread the fingers wide, then inhale to the tips of the toes, and Art's going to tiptoe back to the top of the mat, leaving the pass behind right here. And as he pulls his belly up to his spine to engage that core, he's going to rise up one vertebrae at a time. And at the top, the arms are going to inhale up and overhead. And exhale, Urdhva Dhanurasana, backward bend. Inhale back up through your center position and use the transition, swan dive down, hands to the mat. Very nice. Plant those hands, second set, Uttanasana. Remember, you guys at home, you bend the knees as much as you need to get those hands to touch the mat. Please don't ever hang in a limbo. Can you show a limbo right here? Show a limbo right here. Yeah, lift up and lift the hands off the mat. There you go. Guys, this is hanging in limbo, okay? If you do this at home, your lower back is going to hurt later on today. So bend the knees and get the hands to touch the mat or the block. Good job. Let the head and the neck hang heavy here. Don't cock the head up. Just relax. Shake it no, and then shake it yes. And say to yourself, yes, I am. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. From right here, walk the hands out. If you have your hands to the block, shove the block over to the side, bend the knees. Walk the hands out one hand length and inhale to the tips of the toes. Here's where you guys are going to use that modification by bending the knees, resting the belly on the thighs, or bending the knees and rounding and curling into your ball pose. Biceps are going to squeeze those knees together as your chin tucks into your chest, closing off that Jalandhara Bandha. Your belly pulls into your spine and you squeeze up through your Kegel muscle, creating the Mahabandha, the Great Lock. This is where your body feels safe and sound. On the inhale, lift up the hips to the sky. Don't drop the heels just yet. And then exhale, slowly drop those heels to the mat. From right here, keep the hands to the mat. Step it back to your down dog, left or right side. It's up to you. Pushing back into that downward facing dog, drawing those shoulders back and down. Very nice. Taking a deep breath, inhale, tip of the toe as you shift forward into your second set, plank position. This time, Art is not going to drop to the knees. Those of you at home that need to, do it now. Hug the rib cage as you come all the way down just one time. Touch the nose to the mat if you can, and inhale to your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Hips are lifted up off the mat. Art is going to drop his hips to Bhujangasana and bend at the knees, pushing back to that second set of his child's pose. This is where you guys can see if your head will touch the mat, and he made it to the mat this time. If you're not there yet, it's okay. Your spine will extend, your belly rounding around your thighs will engage this to get the head to the mat. Let's see if we can get it there on that third time. If you're not there already, it's okay. Spread those fingers wide, reach the hands to the front of the room. Guys, go back to the intention that you set in the beginning of class. Close your eyes right here and think about something that you want in your life. Moving into that final set, inhale forward, take a look over the edge of the mat, then tuck those toes, lift through a high plank, push away, down dog. You got it. Very nice. Melting the chest to the toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana, lifting the hips toward the sky, dropping the heels toward the mat, spreading the fingers really wide, micro bend to your knees to your elbows, and draw those shoulders down and out of the ears. On the next inhale to the tips of the toes, then tiptoe to the top of the mat. Final set, Uttanasana. Let your head, let your neck hang heavy here. If you guys are trying to look up to see if anybody's around, it doesn't matter. Letting the head and the neck hang heavy is going to get you that long, long spine. Try not to cock the head up. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters but right here in your forward fold. If you'd like a little more intensity into the backs of your legs, shift your body weight slightly forward to the balls of your feet. Do not lift your heels. If you guys see that shift that Art just did, it's a slight move forward, and it symbolizes to your body, leaving the past behind. So you can say it to yourself, I leave the past behind as I move forward in life, confident and graceful. Pull your bellies to your spine and inhale to rise up. One vertebrae at a time, and at the top, sweep those arms up and overhead. And exhale to a slight backward bend. Inhale back up, reaching for the sky. Exhale to a swan, dive down, hands to the mat. Very nice. This is it, last set. From right here, Art's gonna inhale to the tips of the toes. You guys at home can take that modification and round and curl into your ball pose. Your biceps are gonna squeeze your knees. Chin tucks into the chest, that little nook right here into your chest, closing off the Jalandhara. Pull the belly up into the spine, then try to tuck that belly up and under the rib cage, then squeeze up through your Kegel muscle, creating the Mahabandha, the great lock. From right here, inhale to lift the hips, try not to drop the heels yet, and then exhale to drop the heels. Plant those hands to the mat and step it back into your downward dog. Very nice. Very nice. Melting the chest toward the toes, drawing the shoulders back and down. Spreading the fingers out really wide, guys. When we spread the fingers out wide, we push the pad of the palm into the mat. We keep the weight off the wrist, okay? If you're going to yoga or you're doing yoga at home and you're saying, my wrist hurts, it's because you're keeping the weight in the wrist as opposed to the pad of the palm, okay? From right here, Art's gonna inhale forward into high plank position. Exhaling down through one chaturanga and inhaling to upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Dropping the hips down to the mat to Bhujangasana and bending at the knees. Pushing back into his final set of child's pose. Very nice. Test it. If your head is touching the mat, wonderful. If it's not, it's okay. The more you do this, the more length you're going to get in your spine to get your forehead to touch the mat, okay? The more you guys do this, Mahashivaratri, if you do this every day, it's going to give you more range of motion when you wake up in the morning. It's going to help the lower back, all of that, okay? All right, very nice. Inhale and rise up, and I'm going to come over here to the side of Art, and we're going to start with butterfly. Okay, so in butterfly, we're going to do lateral butterfly. And so we're going to bring the left leg in, and the right leg is going to come out, okay? And so you guys at home, you see we have the bolsters and the blocks. If you don't have a bolster at home, grab a couch pillow, okay? That will work fine. Grab a pillow from your bed. Don't get just one, though. Get 3 or 4. All right, so the right leg is going to come in. The heel is in toward the pelvis, okay? And the knee is out. The right leg is out to the side of the room. Now, watch this, guys. When we start to work on these butterflies, the goal is for you not to feel the hamstring so much as to feel the inner thigh and the underneath part here of your knee, okay? So if you're doing this at home and you're flexing your toe just like this, you're gonna feel the hamstring. If you release the foot and let it go, let it hang, you're going to feel the part and stretch the fascia where I need you to, okay? So from right here, let the foot go. Now, check out my hips here. Can you shift back? So check out Art here. See this, guys? This is not good. It's like a truck driver back, okay? We want to inhale and lengthen up. Check that out. Arms are going to come up and overhead. Resist the need to flex your toe. Let it go. Then exhale, shift your body weight slightly forward and hold. I know you're feeling it right here in the back of your knee. From right here, all I want you to do is drop your hands to the mat, okay? Breathe. Lift up off the wrist if you want and lengthen the chest. Very nice. So this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to round your spine. You want to keep that length nice and tall. Breathe, guys. Don't hold your breath. Everything we do from here on out is going to go really, really slow. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose is going to keep you calm and safe and sound in these poses. From right here, we're going to walk the hands out one hand length, but don't round the spine, okay? Just walk it out and continue with the length. Breathe. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Maybe start to close your eyes. Relax. Soften the eyelids. Soften the jaw. And let's walk those hands out, maybe one more hand length. Now, look at this. From right here, we're going to drop to the forearms, and we're going to continue with the length in our spine. Now, those of you at home, if you're up here like this, and this is as far as you can go, this is it, and it's okay. So the bolster comes into play. Bring your bolster into play. As you're walking out, you can walk yourself all the way onto the bolster and drop your head. Check this out. You guys at home can even place the block and prop your bolster up if you need. So we got a level 1 here. And so for those of you that don't need a block or a bolster, we got a level 2, 3. Drop your forehead to the mat. Relax and start to breathe. It's okay if you come here like this. You're still feeling the underneath part of your knee where I need you to feel your inner thigh opening up. But check this out. The shoulders here, the shoulders are not going to allow you to go further. So from here, I need you to walk the hands out, one more hand length, and drop to the forearms again. Then round your forehead down toward the mat. And if you're almost there, but not quite, you can always come to the block. And those of you that would like to take this a lot further, and you can get down to the mat, you can bring your hands together in a prayer just like Art did right here, bending at those elbows and bringing those palms above your head, trying to get those thumbs to one day touch the back of your neck. And this is going to give you a little more stretch going through the shoulders. Breathing is important here, guys. Using your breath, using your ujjayi, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Using the breath to calm down the mind. The goal in these poses is for us to create a pause in between each thought that rolls into our mind. So think about having one thought roll into your mind at a time and take a few breaths to think about what it was, what the thought was. Do you want to keep it? And do you want to let it go before the next thought rolls into your mind? In yoga, we call this yogesh siddhi vritti nirodha, and it means yoga controls the swirling in our minds. And this is exactly heated yoga or regular yoga. This is exactly what yin does for you. Not to mention the great opening of the fascia and all the meridians, all of the work that you're doing right here, opening up that fascia, releasing the emotional distress in the body. Really nice, guys. So we're going to start to move out of the pose really slow and controlled. So what you're going to do is start to lift your head, walking your hands back. Don't jump. Don't jump. Go really, really slow. Walking the hands back behind you. Fingertips will face forward. So check out Art in the video here. He's going to bring his hands up and over his head. And then we're going to exhale the hands behind the back, and the fingertips are going to face forward. Pinching at the shoulder blades. Micro bend to the elbows. Let the head hang back. Open up the heart and the throat. Bend at the elbows, and then push the mat away. And come down one more time. I want you to see how far you can go. Really nice. Maybe some of you made it all the way to the mat the second time, and if you didn't, it's okay. Inhale up. Really slow and controlled, make your way up. Then take your hand underneath your knee. So you're going to want to take your hand underneath and use it to bend that knee. Oh, yes. Come onto that crisscross or 90-90, okay? So all you're going to do is take that right leg across. Oh, yes. Flex at your toes. Inhale your arms up and over. Shoulders out of the ears. Create space, guys, in between the shoulders and the ears. And then exhale to hinge. Only go as far as the body will allow. We're not trying to get 90-90 all the way. And then come on up. Really nice, guys. Moving on to the other side. You can kick it out. And drawing the left leg out, bringing the right knee in. So the heel is coming in toward the pelvis. Now, once again, flexing at the toes is going to create the hamstring stretch. Releasing and letting it go is going to open up the inner thigh and the underneath part of your knee, okay? Here we go. Inhale those arms up and over your head. Shift your hips forward. Don't let your hips shift back like this. Guys, if you got this like this and you're saying, I can't do it, place yourself under a block and it's going to force you to shift your hips forward, okay? Shifting the hips forward. Don't let that truck driver back happen to you. And exhale to hinge forward, feeling the inner thigh right away. Dropping the hands to the mat. And extending, lengthening up through your chest. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Walk it out one hand length. And if this is all you're going today, then this is okay. Bring your bolster into play. Drop to your forearms. So bringing your bolster into play here, dropping to the forearms, resting the belly, and then coming all the way down. You guys can walk those hands out. Drop your forehead to the block. You can always prop your bolster up if you need. Or those of you at home saying that this up here, this is as far as you can go. You can take 2 bolsters and rest yourself here, okay? You can come all the way down with your forehead to the mat. Give yourself a few breaths before you go into that level 2 where you draw the hands together in prayer. Give yourself a few breaths here, okay? Let the fascia open up on the inner thigh, underneath the part of your knee. Maybe some of you at home are saying, oh, I didn't know I had a backside to my knee. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. That's the most important part here, guys, is never holding the breath. Never, ever holding the breath. Allowing yourself to get the adequate amount of oxygen to your brain allows you to make better decisions in life. When we're forced into a situation, sometimes we can't breathe. We're not getting enough oxygen to the brain to make good decisions. Make sure that you're using your Ujjayi and extending your life force. If you guys would like to take that level 2 here, check our art in the video. Bending at your elbows and bringing your hands above your head, bringing those thumbs right here to touch the back of your neck. If you're not there yet, it's okay. One day you will be. Feeling that nice stretch not only going in through your inner thigh, but through your shoulders also, okay? And if you're not there yet to that level 2 and you're here on a bolster, just like this, it's okay. Using your breath, take a second to think about what's happening with your tongue. If you're working to push your tongue toward the top of your mouth or hold it up, drop the tongue down to the bottom of the mouth. This will allow your facial expression to calm down, to relax. And this will allow the eyelids to soften. This will allow you to start to Yogesh Siddhi Vritti Nirodha, to allow the thoughts to come through one at a time. It'll allow you to really figure out which thoughts you want to keep and which thoughts you'd like to just let go. Really nice, guys. Maneuvering ourselves out of the pose, move really, really slow, dropping your hands to the mat and starting to make your way up. Oh, yes. And that's what the back of your knee feels like. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Shoulders out of the ears. Exhale back, dropping the hands, fingertips facing forward. Pinching the shoulder blades, microbend to the elbows, head hangs back. Opening up your heart to the truth. Inhale back up. This time, draw the arms up and exhale, shift. Drop the hands. How far can you go? Make your way back onto your bolster or all the way down. And inhale up. Really nice, guys, really nice. Drawing this right leg up into that 90 degrees, taking the left hand underneath your knee and using it to bend. Oh, yes. 90, 90, arms up and over. Just a quick 90, flex your toes and come on forward. Very nice. Come on up. Release the legs. Oh, and we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana, bringing the heels and toes to touch. So when we talk about our lineage, Baddha Konasana is, actually it's Vajrasana in our lineage, right? You know that, right? Art is in our teacher training, so he's learning the Sanskrit. Baddha Konasana is not our lineage, but it's the same pose. It's cobbler's pose. We call it goddess of the hunt, Supta Vajrasana. But the word Supta means reclining, so we just use the Vajrasana word, okay? So here the heels and toes are touching. Now, For the yin portion of this, if you guys, the goal in our regular yoga classes, you guys, is for you to eventually get your heels as close to the pelvis as you can. But this is really intense for moving forward. So I want you to take it out into a position that feels comfortable for you, okay? So Art is really good at this, so he can do this from here. Take your feet out. From here, we're going to do a little bit of Baddha before we go into full butterfly, okay? So from right here, shift forward and lift your crown of the head, okay? Don't let your back sink like this. Shift slightly forward and inhale the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, hinge slightly forward and drop the hands to the mat. Lift up off the wrists and lengthen. So guys, don't do this. You're trying to get your forehead into your toes. Don't round like this. Lengthen, okay? Lengthen. Walk it out one hand length. And then you can place your bolster here on top of your feet, and we're going to walk all the way out. Those of you that aren't going to use a bolster today, we go like this. We walk the hands out, and we drop to the forearms, okay? Now you can rest your head into your bolster. If you can go all the way, you can walk the hands out one more hand length, drop to the forearms, and now is the time that you can round your forehead into your toes. If not, take your bolster into play, or you can always draw your head to a block. Just breathe, don't hold your breath. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Really nice. So with Art maneuvering through the pose, his breath allowed him to go further and further and further until he finally reached his forehead into the mat. It's not about getting into a level 2 with the yin, guys. It's about learning to breathe and use the breath to control the thoughts, okay? So if you need a little more and you go to level 2, it's okay. It's okay. And if you don't, it's okay also. From right here, we're slowly going to make our way up on the inhale. Walking the hands back, really slow and controlled. And we're going to go back to this for a few more breaths. But if you didn't make it to the mat, I'm going to see if I can get you there, okay? So what I want is you to rotate your body and walk your hands over to the left and frame at your knee. Now, those of you at home, I don't want you to do this and go right away. I want you to frame at the knee. Lengthen and look around the left shoulder. Just feel the twist, guys. Just breathe. We move really, really slow. The breath will allow us to maneuver through the pose. Take the left hand and draw it back. And then take the right forearm here and take it on to your thigh. And then lead with your shoulder on the left side. Watch out in the video. Lead with the shoulder and then turn your head. This will get you a lot further into your twist. Now the forearm here on the thigh is a lever. It's like a lever to help you twist. Breathe. Don't hold it. Just breathe. Let's do it together. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. One more. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Really nice, guys. Inhale that right arm up and windmill. Windmill across and frame the knee, okay? I know you're all bendy now and you want to go all the way. Resist the need. Frame the knee, lengthen up through the arms, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, looking around that right shoulder. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Did you guys know that you can still breathe while your belly's all twisted up? You can do it. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Watch Art's arm in the video, okay? We're going to draw the right arm back. And as you plant the hand to the mat, you lengthen up and lead with the shoulder. Then take that left forearm onto that right thigh and use it as a lever to twist. Breathe, guys. Inhale. And exhale. Twist. Lead with the shoulder, then look around. Inhale. And exhale, twist. One more. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Inhale, left arm up. Right arm comes to meet. Shoulders out of the ears. Lift through your rib cage. Exhale, your hands behind your back. Fingertips will face forward, pinching those shoulder blades. Micro bend to the elbows. Check out Art's arm in the video here. Exhale, back. Open your heart, open your throat to the truth. Push the mat away. Inhale the arms up and overhead. And let's finish this off. Come on, back down. Let me see. Did you make it to the mat? Did you make it all the way? How much further did you go? I know that you guys are filling in your hips here. Think about forgiveness in your life for yourself and for others. When we get this nice stretch going through our hips, when we open up that fascia, we start to release those emotional thoughts of distress. So say it to yourself. I lovingly forgive myself. I lovingly forgive others. I am willing to change. I am willing to grow. And as you guys can see, Art's got that level 2 going where he's bending at the arms, drawing the hands above the head. And anytime you shift forward into child's pose or any type of pose like this, you can always add that little bit of extra with the shoulders, okay? As long as you can get your forehead to touch the mat. So from right here, we're going to come up really slow and controlled. Take an inhale, plant your hands, and slowly make your way up. Oh, yeah. Take the pads of your palms to the inner thighs here. So you guys don't ever want to use the knees as handles here, okay? I'm going to come in a little further, and if you want to too, go for it. Take those hands to the inner thighs right here. Push down and rotate outward. Can you guys see that? See my hand here? Check Art out in the video if you need. You're going to hunk these inner thighs, and then you're going to pull outward as you lengthen, okay? Outward as you lengthen. Nice. And you guys can take these little movements right here. Really nice, guys. Release. Take the hands underneath the knees and bring them in. Oh, kick it out. Whew. Plant the hands to the mat behind you. Fingertips face forward. Pinch the shoulder blades. Let the head hang back. Inhale forward. Point the toes and take a lift. Exhale. Let it go. And then check this out, guys. Resist the need to flex your toes here, okay? Resist the need to flex the toes. And then all I want is you to walk forward and feel your lower back. Really nice. Make your way up. And moving on to full-on butterfly. Full-on butterfly and with a level 2 full tortoise, okay? If you want it, you can take it. So moving into full butterfly, we're going to take our feet all the way out as far as your body will allow. You guys can take a water break if you need. Once again, if you got, can you show it? If you got this going, and you're saying right now, there's no way that I can even just come forward, the block is going to help. Putting the block underneath is going to help you shift and lift, okay? But if that's not happening to you, you don't need the block. Come here to the butterfly. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Now, once again, guys, let the feet just hang. Resist the need to flex the toes. Once you guys flex the toes here, you're changing this to a hamstring stretch where I really want you to feel it on the inner thighs and underneath this part of your knee, okay? Shoulders down and out of the ears. Lift up. Hinge. Drop the hands. Nice. Now, lift up off the wrist and lengthen. And this is where you bring your bolster into play. Art will go into that level 2 without a bolster. And exhale, walk those hands out. And then all I want you to do is drop to the forearms. Okay? Drop to the forearms. This is where you guys can prop your bolsters up if you'd like. Or you can take 2 bolsters, 2 couch pillows, 2 bed pillows. Okay, so if you're here and you drop to the forearms and you're not quite there yet, you can always use a block to drop your forehead, or you can go a little further by walking those hands out one more hand length and dropping to the forearms again. And then finally, if you can make it there, you can drop your forehead to the mat. Breathing deep breaths in and out through the nose. Every time you breathe, inhale, and as you exhale, maybe you inch those fingertips up a little further. Maybe as you're in the pose, you can take your bolster out and try to get to the mat, or you can remove your block from being propped up. And if you don't do any of those things, it's okay. It's okay. You can also go into that level 2 position if you'd like. With your arms, a nice stretch through your shoulders. Art will show it right here, walking the hands out. If you're here, you can bring the hands together in that prayer, bend at the elbows, and bring the hands above the head. The goal here is to get the biceps as close to the ears as possible. This is where you're going to feel the shoulders. If you guys have this out like this, you're not going to feel it there, okay? But the more important part is that you're feeling the backs of your knees open up and you're feeling those inner thighs. It's intense, and it's okay. It's meant to be intense. It's meant to teach us to get through the intensity of life. If we can breathe through this position right here, there's a chance that we can breathe through confrontations that come into our life, or what's happening to us right now in life as we try to maneuver through what's going on. From right here, we're going to drop the hands to the mat, and I'm going to show those of you, me and Art are going to show those of you that want to take a little more level 2, we're going to show full tortoise. But listen, nothing says that you have to even try this. If you're on your bolster right now at home, stay there. Continue to breathe, okay? Continue to feel the backs of the legs. If you feel like you want a little more, you want a little bit of a challenge, then take it, okay? So come on up a little, come onto the forearms, okay? And then lift and lengthen. Bend at the knees slightly and draw the hands underneath. Drop the knees back onto the forearms and then drop the head. Really nice. You're not stuck, I promise. Bend your knees slightly and draw your arms out. Plant your hands to the mat, and let's make our way up really slow. Oh, yes, guys. Take your hands underneath your knees and use it to bend. Go, oh, woo, crisscross applesauce. Great job, guys. Turn your palms face up, draw your shoulders back and down, and lengthen the crown of your head to the sky. Close your eyes, soften your eyelids. Think about what you're feeling in your knees, in your legs. Is this something you felt before? If it's not, take it all in. Think about what it feels like. And if your body starts to move in this side-to-side motion, it's okay. That's because you're on a wave. You got on that wave, microwave or radio, not sure. You decide. Really nice. Let's move into our next yin. Okay, we're going to go from downward facing dog into a version of pigeon, which in yin we call deer pose, okay? And it's going to really help with the psoas muscle, or if you guys have low back pain, this is going to really be good. Keep your bolster and your block, and if you'd like to take a quick sip of water, go for it. Okay, so from right here, crisscross applesauce. Make sure you're to the back of your mat, and we're going to maneuver ourselves forward, tuck our toes, and push away to downward dog. All right, guys, from right here, downward facing dog, drawing the shoulder blades back and down, melting the chest to the toes. I know you're feeling the backs of your legs right here. Take a breath and inhale that right leg up and swing it through. Right knee to the right wrist. Let the shin fall down naturally. And then sit your hips down into pigeon, okay? Now, look at Art's hip here. So right here on the right side, the hip is lifted. What I want you guys to do, if you can see my hip here, is drop your hip to the mat. Walk your hands over to the right. And then draw your left knee up into straddle. Yeah. Now, walk your hands back to center. And I'm going to rotate myself here like this so you guys can see. So in this straddle pose, check out Art's leg there. You can have it in a 90 if that feels good for you. You can pull the heel all the way in. But what you guys don't want to do is you don't want to put the foot flat and the shin. You don't want to rest like that, okay? You want to bring it in if it feels good. You can also open up that knee a little more if you'd like, okay? So from right here, the goal is for you to one day get this 90 degrees. If you don't got it yet, it's okay. You can also bring the heel in toward the pelvis. Once again, don't get that truck driver back going. Inhale and lengthen up. Arms are going to come up and over your head. Shoulders draw down and out of your ears as you lift up through your rib cage. Exhale, shift, and drop the hands to the mat. Okay, lift up off the wrist here. Now, what I don't want you guys to do is this, okay? I don't want you to pull the belly in and shift back. Keep the spine nice and long, and then let's move side to side on that hip, okay? And then let's go up and down, and then kind of in a circle. If you can see my body going a little bit in a circle, you can see Art. If you guys feel a spot of tension in this left hip, kind of push your way into it. Push your way into it. And then side to side, maybe in a circle, up and down. From right here, we're going to walk those hands over to the right, one hand length, and you're going to start to frame at your right knee, okay? Don't go all the way because we're going to go there. Give it some time. Breathe. Exhale and take a look around the right shoulder. Stay patient, guys. This is a trait that you learn doing yin, is to learn to be patient. Not only to breathe and to calm, but to stay patient. And walk that right arm back. Take that left forearm on to your right thigh. Lead with your right shoulder. Check Art out in the video here. Lead with the right shoulder. Use the left forearm as a lever and twist. Look around that right shoulder. Breathe. Once again, our belly is twisted just like we were in Baddha Konasana, and it's okay. You're still breathing. You're still alive. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, windmill across to this left knee. And draw the right arm with you and frame, if you guys can frame. Now, take a look at Art here. It gets a little hairy on this side, okay? Breathe. Look around the left shoulder. Just breathe. Don't hold your breath. And then let's see if the body allows you to go a little further. If not, this is where you stay, and it's okay. You can walk the left hand out, lead with the left shoulder, then take that right forearm onto your thigh, your shin here, and twist. Really nice. Inhale, right arm up. Left arm comes to meet. Exhale, hands behind the back. Pinch the shoulder blades. Micro bend to the elbows, let the head hang back. Say to yourself, I am open to the truth. Inhale up, arms up. Exhale, hinge, drop your hands. Let's go, guys. How far? How far can you go? Did you think you would make it all the way to the mat? If you need, bring a bolster into play. Drop your forehead to the bolster or prop your bolster up. Really nice, guys. Let's slowly start to make our way up. And we're going to drag our bolsters over to the right with us, okay? We're going to finish this off over to the right side. So we're going to walk our hands over to the right. And your body's coming on over to the right, but I really want to see if you guys can go catty corner like Art. He's not just head on, he's all the way over. So you're going to walk your hands all the way over, and then you can bring your bolsters into play, or you can just start coming down, okay? So right here, you're going to drop your belly and walk your hands out and draw onto your bolster, feeling a nice length coming all the way down the left side of your body. Yes, nice. This should be feeling really good in your psoas muscle. Using your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Think about dropping your tongue, let it rest in the cradle of the mouth, allowing the facial expression to relax. Really nice, guys. Notice what's happening with your thoughts. Did you make it to that Yogesh Siddhi Vritti Nirodha? Did you make it one thought at a time? A pause in between each thought. Slowly inhale, start to make your way up, and come on back to center and rotate all the way in opposition. Oh, yes. And back to center. So we're going to come out of this by bringing our right leg out and drawing our right forearm onto the mat as we kick out and beat boy all the way around to 90-90. I learned that from one of the students. Oh, he said, that's a beat boy move. I was like, yeah. Breakdancing. Okay, inhale up. And flex those toes, 90-90. And exhale, hinge. Oh, drop it down. Really nice. Rise it up. Great job, guys. Kick it out. Fingertips face forward. Oh, yeah. Windshield wiper. And plant those hands. Pinch those shoulder blades. Point those toes. And inhale, exhale back. Lift those hips. Yes. Drop those hips to the mat. Inhale up. So we got the toes flexed. Resist the need. Arms up. And exhale, hinge. How far can you go? Feel that lower back. Relax. Resist the need to flex your toes here, guys. Once you start to flex the toes, you change this to a hamstring stretch. Well, I want you to feel this in your lower back. Take a breath, inhale, and come on up. Take a sip of water if you'd like, and let's maneuver ourselves into our next side of deer pose. Take those hands underneath your knees and use them to bend. Come on into that crisscross. Shift the body weight forward. Tabletop, tuck, downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Spread those fingers out really wide. Shoulders drawing back and down. Keep the weight into the pads of the palms. Lift the hips toward the sky. Drop the heels to the mat. And inhale that left leg up. And swing it through, bringing the left knee to the left wrist. Let the shin fall naturally. Sit the hips down to the mat. Now, so look what happens. Most people here, their hip is lifted. So what I want you to do here is drop your left hip to the mat and then draw your right knee up. Really nice. From right here, I can't. Let me turn forward. There we go. So once again, if you guys can see my knee here, you can open it up here, or you can bring it in a little. You can kick the foot out. It's really up to you. You can have this 90, or you can pull the heel in, okay? From right here, inhale the arms. Make sure you're not shifting back like this. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, hinge. Drop the hands to the mat, and lengthen through the chest. Lengthen up. Use the hands, lift up off the wrist. Take the weight to the pad of the palm. Use it to push and lengthen, okay? From right here, you're just going to shift side to side in that right hip. This is about forgiveness, guys. This is intense because we hold emotional thoughts and feelings in the hips. We hold emotional thoughts and feelings in the fascia. That's why yin is so intense. You can go side to side, left to right, or up and down, or in a circle. And if you feel a spot of tension, back and forth on it. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge the tension and watch it float away. Really nice. From right here, we're going to get going by walking the hands over to the right, framing at that right knee. Guys, don't go all right away, okay? Frame the knee. Lengthen the chest and look around the left shoulder. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Even if you just close your eyes, soften the eyelids. Drop that tongue. It will allow the face to soften. It will allow the eyelids to soften. Draw that left arm back. Left hand comes back. Now watch art in the mirror as you lead with the shoulder. Take the forearm to the thigh and twist. Breathe. Don't hold it. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Inhale. And take it, twist one last time, and inhale that right arm up and windmill across. Taking that right hand to frame the knee, left arm comes up as you reach across, framing at that right knee. If this is all you've got on this side, it's okay. Look around the right shoulder. You want to go a little further here, drawing that right arm back, lead with the shoulder, take the left forearm onto the thigh, and twist. Don't hold your breath, guys. Don't hold it. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Use this left forearm as a lever to help you. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, left arm up, right arm comes to meet. Exhale, hands back, fingertips face forward. Pinch your shoulder blades and open your heart and your throat. Then inhale, back up. And exhale, hinge. Come on down, drop the hands. How far can you go? Did you surprise yourself? And if you did, it's because of all the twisting in the hips, the twisting in the spine. Relax. Close your eyes. You guys can bring that bolster into play here, just like this. You can also prop the bolster up on a block. You can bring two bolsters into play if you need. Or you can come all the way down to the mat. You can even head to go back to your attention. Go back to whatever it is you want in your life. With your eyes closed, soften your eyelids. Draw a picture of what you want behind your eyelids. This is how you use the power of manifestation through visualization to bring it closer to the material world. Slow as we start to make our way up. Slow and controlled. And we're going to walk over to the left and we're going to finish off here, okay? So you see me coming over catty corner. I want to try to go as far as my body will allow and then walk out. Use your bolster, use the block, what is available. And come to the forearms. And then you can drop to the mat. You can prop the bolster up on a block. Use your breath. Control the thoughts by using the breath. Breathing in those deep breaths in and out through your nose. Inhaling and exhaling, using that ujjayi to extend your life force. Really nice, guys. Let's slowly start to make our way up. Really slow, really slow. Walking those hands over. Oh, and coming all the way over to the right. Nice. Back to center. Now, take your left forearm and drop it down to the mat and beat, boy, your right leg all the way around to 90-90. Okay, so those of you at home, if this is happening to you and you're like, there's no way, take the knife edge of your foot into the nook in the knee and the shin and then come to 90. You can also do crisscross or sukhasana, just like this, okay? This right here is going to help you get into this 90-90, and then eventually you inch the foot over and over every time you do it until you come to this 90-90. Arms up and overhead. Exhale to hinge and shift. Drop hands and round down. Flex those toes if you want a little more intensity. Breathing deep breaths in and out through the nose. Really nice. Slowly start to make your way up. And make your way forward into a tabletop position. Let your shins go flat and sit your hips to your heels. Really nice today, you guys. We went a little over, and that's okay. Thank you for joining us. Let's finish this off, okay? Inhale those arms up and over your head. Exhale your hands to your third eye and say to yourself, I intuit the truth. Bring the hands to the lips and say, I speak the truth. Bring the hands to the heart center and say, I feel the love in my heart. And the love and the light in me and art, honor and respect the same in you guys. Namaste. Thank you. So funny.